Got some nice literature here.
Yeah, a little bit low on the books at the moment.
Okay. A lot of people buying a lot of these books?
Yep.
And these are all hand painted in Turkey?
You got it.
And they're imported through, are they?
Yep.
Wow. You can tell a lot of work's gone into them, can't you?
Many hours.
Yeah. Make an excellent gift for somebody. My next point of contact was Celestial Earth Naturopathy and Reiki Clinic, where I would be speaking to Shairin Farrell, a third-degree master in the art of Reiki. Sharon had many accreditations, which added a level of integrity to her practice. What type of services do you offer here at this clinic?
Naturopathy. I'm a naturopath, which also covers herbal medicine, nutritional medicine, flower essences, mineral steroids and things. Also, that's natural health services. I'm also a Reiki Master, so I teach Reiki, Usui Reiki and Tibetan Reiki to people. I give Reiki sessions here, and sometimes I incorporate crystal healing with that. I can do astrology, natal charts, and tarot readings, and EFT tapping.
Can you briefly explain the history of Reiki, how it originated, and where it is now?
Alright, so the history of Reiki is the founder, or the rediscoverer, Dr. Mikao Usui. He was born in the mid-1800s, so after that he grew up as a Tendai Buddhist monk in the monastery, and there he used to do a Qigong technique that was where you build up personal Qi, and then, like in martial arts or whatever, and then you give it to another person to heal them. And he thought, and it left the person drained, so he thought that wasn't efficient. So he searched everywhere through the old sutras, the Buddhist sutras, and apparently the Vedas and that sort of thing as well. And he found the technique for Reiki for channeling universal Qi. So instead of using your own stores, you're actually drawing in the heavenly Qi, as they have in Qigong, into the body, and then that and letting that flow through you and out without pushing it, but just letting it gently flow through you and into the person being healed. So it fills up their Qi stores and gently flushes any of their meridians, chakras and auras, the energy field, and removes any blockages or stagnant energy really gently, and their body can heal itself. So, and the practitioner's not manipulating or doing anything, we're just simply allowing the universal Qi to flow. And he went and did his meditation on 21 days on Mount Kurama,
Wow.
which is in Japan, in Kyoto Prefecture. And the story goes, we have a weird story in the West, because he taught his students, he taught some Japanese students, and he taught a Japanese guy, Chijiro Hayashi, because there's different lineages, because Usui taught, it's a hands-on, they do it over the internet these days, but it is like a Buddhist transmission, like a hands-on transmission that clears out your channels, so, and keys them in, locks them into the universal Qi, like tuning a radio station in, and then you've got it for life, And so he taught some Japanese guys, and he taught Hayashi, who went on to taught Takada, Mrs. Takada, who lived in Hawaii and took it to the West.
It's been handed down from generation to generation.
Yeah, exactly. And we have a weird story in the West because of the war with Japan, so they changed the story to him being a Christian, blah, blah, blah. So we're not really sure. The Japanese, there's a lot of research coming out now bringing out the truth and some of the more Japanese and more Buddhist things, because he changed it from a Buddhist thing kind of more into the simplified version, so anyone could use it and you could teach it quickly, like at a bus stop. You could attune someone to Reiki so they could do it. Exactly. So you know, you learn it. There's 3 stages. First is for healing yourself and friends and family. Second level, you learn how to. There's symbols and stuff as well, which add to you know, the usefulness of it. And you can be a practitioner, like you can get membership with an association, and then ensure your public liability insurance and that kind of thing, and practice for money. And then 3rd degree, like, which is what I have, is when you can teach other people. So there's many different ones, because used to be taught, you know, so many people, and then those masters taught so many people. It wasn't too many in the beginning.
Right.
Who'd got mastery, but these days a lot of people have mastery, but every different practitioner or master can change it however they like. So you've got not weird, but you've got rainbow ones, and you've got all different ones. The one I learnt, the Usui Shiki Ryoho, is through the Western lineage, but it's very simple and straightforward. So we don't put in a lot of added extras. Sometimes I use crystals in my healings, but I love crystals and into that.
Terrific.
And yeah, and I also do the Tibetan one, which came in with William Rand, which incorporates some Tibetan symbols. And no, it's kind of like an addition, but the Tibetan symbols are at a different dimension kind of thing. And I've also done, just to tie it all in together, I did a medicine Buddha empowerment with the Tibetan Kadampa Centre in Brisbane.
Right, yeah. Well, since Western civilization has adopted a lot of these techniques, where do you see the future of Reiki heading?
I think Western society is integrating a lot of different therapies and, you know, things, and using them for health and well-being, both, you know, both mind, body and spirit. I think, you know, different people are certainly drawn to different therapies. And some people might be drawn to Reiki and to do it as a profession.
Very dynamic.
It's Reiki can be a good thing. In England, there's people using it in hospitals, because it's relaxing, and it also has a healing thing, but it's very calming and relaxing for people in nursing homes and things. It just soothes, very soothing and that sort of thing. So it actually is a great technique that can be implemented throughout lots of, for children, you know, crying babies, and that kind of thing, to soothe them. So it really is something that can be implemented in all areas of daily life. And some people are drawn to it, and other people will be drawn to different therapies. So
that is definitely a testament to its benefits. The fact that it's being used and implemented in hospitals, and hopefully it's rolled out in a widespread manner, and even the most conservative family will look at it with an open mind and be able to receive some of the benefits that Reiki has to offer.
Exactly, that'd be fantastic. That'd be, you know, that's, I think some of us who are, you know, in the modern world doing these kind of alternative practices still, even though it may look weird to some, is that there is a lot of wisdom in some of the older stuff, and different alternative and complementary therapies, energy healing and that kind of thing. There's a lot of benefit to be gained that is, you know, congruent with modern society.
What would be your advice to a new client who wasn't sure of what to expect?
Okay, initially majorly from from a naturopathic consultation, that's the main thing that I do, and it's sort of an umbrella where I can incorporate the other sort of spiritual and other therapies. So naturopathic consult initially would take a really comprehensive medical history. And if you're of previous occupations, illnesses, injuries, traumas, medications you're on, diagnosis.
So there's a full medical report that is analysed.
Yes, I'll question and take all that into account, and also we do diagnostics like the iridology, tongue analysis, which is a Chinese thing, hand analysis, and just a whole range of, or like looking at all your body systems and how they're functioning. We talk a lot about bowels in natural medicine because you can tell a lot about someone's digestion, which is really important.
Right.
Because that's where your nutrients, the food that we eat is turned into the cells of our body. So we are literally made of what we eat. So
that is a fundamental part of it.
that is a really fundamental part of it, actually. Because your body has essential needs to function. So if you're not getting enough of these minerals or vitamins, then your body can't function properly, and that will come out as disease further down the track.
Very true.
And often doctors might not have time necessarily to look at those kinds of things. So a naturopath in the modern healthcare system, that's one of the things we can do, is look at your dietary needs. And
do you cater to all age groups?
yes, I do. At the moment, my clinic upstairs has some really steep stairs, so that limits people with limited, makes it difficult for people with limited mobility.
Such as the elderly?
Such as the elderly, yes. I do sometimes locum in pharmacy situations, so they can come and see me there, which is much better.
What are some of the misconceptions one might have about your practice?
The biggest one I think about naturopaths is that we're untrained or unqualified and unregistered. I think we're not technically registered, but definitely our training, especially these days, to an accredited naturopath, to check to see if your naturopath is accredited, you need to see if they have insurance, public liability and private indemnity insurance, because you need to have proper qualification from a proper college and association membership with one of the accredited associations.
So there definitely are strict regulations and guidelines that are implemented.
Definitely, and we have a code of practice. To be a member of the association and therefore eligible to get insurance, we need to follow a code of conduct, and you can if you have a problem with a naturopath, you can contact one of the associations and report them if you want to. So we do have checks and measures in place, and also our education it includes these days scientifically evidence-based natural medicine. So there's a lot of scientific studies done on herbal medicine, and especially nutrients and nutrition, and lots of herbal medicines that has evidence to support its use these days. And we do, like for Michael's, I did 3.5 years, which is the minimum for a naturopath in Australia, which is an advanced diploma is the minimum. And I did 4 subjects, so 4 terms of clinical medicine, 4 terms of anatomy and physiology.
It's very impressive. There's a lot involved, isn't there?
There is. It was a big course.
Yeah.
It's, some of my books are massive.
It's not something
it was hard work.
Yeah,
it was hard work.
It doesn't happen overnight.
No, it did take a lot of work, and you do, and 4 subjects of nutrition and herbal medicine, so it was a thorough, to get to where we are, we have, quite a bit of medical knowledge and understanding, plus the traditional, I'll bring a lot of the traditional things in and looking at everything holistically, so you can, trust that a qualified practicing naturopath does have medical knowledge.
That would definitely put your clients at ease.
Yes,
And
well, it should hopefully, yes.
And what therapeutic benefits can one hope to achieve from your practice?
Okay, so I think the biggest thing is naturopaths have time to explain your health conditions. So any health conditions you have, the doctor might not have had time to talk about them with you. So we can look into, let you know what's happening with your body, what's not functioning, and how that affects you. And so if you know what's happening in your body, you can understand why you may need to make dietary or lifestyle modifications, because you understand why, and then you're more likely to do them. And we can support you through your journey as the healing process occurs. We have a treatment plan so that you can, over months, treat, so often some maintenance of chronic conditions is covered really well by natural medicine.
Yep.
And everyday sort of remedies for everyday problems like heartburn, things like that, can be really simply fixed without having to take full-on medications that do have side effects
Yes,
throughout
definitely.
the body.
Yeah.
So it's can be complementary to modern medicine or complement anything you're doing, and surgery and that kind of
Would
thing.
you recommend a
or
first
be an
point of
alternative.
contact would be a general practitioner or a clinical psychologist if somebody was in pain physically or mentally?
Oh yes, definitely. That's
Right.
kind of there's some things that are outside of us. We have a scope of practice where we're allowed to function. I mean, definitely, we're not actually allowed to diagnose.
Right.
We have to diagnose in our mind. We have to think of, okay, what these symptoms are and what they could be, so that we can formulate a treatment plan
Yeah.
and perhaps a herbal formula or nutritional supplements if needed. But we're not allowed to say to you, oh, I think you have this, or
Right.
I think you have. That's a GP.
Okay.
So we will send. I will send someone if if it looks like something serious. I will definitely send them,
True.
because we all need to work together.
Yeah.
I think it's naturopathy can come into the modern age as an adjunct and have its own place, support information, and natural remedies.
And the client's health and well-being is overall
It's
pivotal.
paramount.
What type of feedback have you received from your clients?
Okay, so people who come into my current clinic often say that they feel relaxed just being in here, which
Yes.
is really nice to
I
hear.
felt relaxed too when I entered this building.
Yes, that's my best feedback. That's really
Yeah.
good. That's what I try to create.
A calming atmosphere, isn't it?
Yeah, calming, and a sacred space where you
Yeah.
can feel safe and it's private, so that we can look at all your health concerns, and you can talk about them and feel quite safe
And comfortable.
Yeah, and supported.
Mm.
And people after they've had a Reiki session
Yeah.
kind of go, oh, I feel amazing.
Really?
So
Wow.
I don't know what to say to them then, because Reiki makes me feel good too. So at the end I feel good too. And they
You must
feel
be
good.
very proud of that, being able to provide that sort of service to someone that is in need of that.
Yeah, it's a blessing.
Yeah.
It really is. It's when I teach as well, to be able to show someone how to kind of channel universal energy and for them to heal themselves. It's very calming, relaxing, foremost, and healing. It's just amazing,
Yeah.
because then they're going to go out and help other people around the world
Absolutely.
as well. So it's a profound. There's a word for that. Honour. It's like an honour to be able to share this with people. And I mean, my naturopathy, I do tend to, because I'm not a big fan of commercialism
Right.
and
Yeah.
capitalism.
Yes.
Can I say that?
Yeah.
Or the negative aspects of capitalism. I do tend to keep quite traditional with my naturopathy, even though it's kind of science-based and a lot of evidence-based stuff, but also less of the hard sell and more of the, how can we do simple, cheap, easy things to help you. So people like that it's a traditional style, and my prices are kind of affordable.
Right.
We're still being within the range of...
And meditation is a big part of it, is it? To put you in an altered state of mind?
Yes and no. It's actually... I like Reiki because I'm a lazy. I'm not a great meditation person. I do meditation sometimes, and it is akin to meditation because you basically put your hands on and stay in one place. Channeling the Reiki for extended periods of time. So 40 minutes you might have your hands in one position on a client or yourself for 5 minutes at a time. So it's a very peaceful time, but you don't, anyone can learn Reiki because you don't have to do any specific meditation training or anything like that. It's the energetic setup allows you to channel the Reiki without thinking about it, because you're not manipulating the energy. You're not doing the healing. You're not telling the energy where to go or thinking about what that other person needs, because we don't know. I don't know what's best for you necessarily. I mean, I've had a lot of study and I can give you some ideas and that kind of thing, but certainly with the Reiki, the universal chi channels through us and then into you, and then your body heals. Flows through the meridians and flushes out any stagnants or energy or blockages, and your body kind of heals itself. It's giving you that time for the body to be in relaxed state. So instead of the sympathetic nervous system being on fight or flight and action stations, you're actually in parasympathetic.
So everybody has the ability to heal themselves, but you basically provide the tools for that to happen.
Exactly. It's like a practice that you can actually hone that or clear out the channels really to be doing that, so anyone can learn. So you can use it with meditation, definitely. You just sit really. It's just about, I don't know, not really an altered state.
Right.
You can go into it can bring about some altered states. Definitely, I've definitely seen some spirits and people see visions and
if you're more
colours.
advanced at it.
I think it depends. Everyone has their own. Like some people are more inclined to see colours or things or feel things than others, and certainly if you practice, it's going to happen more. So it definitely, it doesn't have to be a spiritual practice. You can do it. You can do Reiki and learn Reiki without getting into any spiritual kind of stuff at all.
Right.
Or you can use it, or it can really enhance your spiritual journey and your spiritual attributes.
That's
and
excellent.
Be a really good addition.
And you've seen the majority of your clients have positive results?
Yes. I haven't had any touch wood superstitious. I think it's good. Usually they feel relaxed and calm, and sometimes things heal quicker than they probably should, although there's not really any way to measure that, how quickly it would have healed anyway.
Yes.
People, it's very calming and centering, which is good for everyone. The more centered and calm we are and in the present moment, similar to a meditation thing, then the more easily you can act without, in a good way, the more easily, you just respond to the situation genuinely rather than reacting. So,
well, that's been a terrific presentation, Sharon. I'm sure you've enlightened everyone on the benefits of Reiki, and hopefully some of the mystery has been taken out.
I hope so. Thank you.
Excellent.